Hey everybody, so I just want to talk about, for a short time, someone who is quickly becoming one of my favorite players in the NHL. And he is not a star player by any means, but I think I just love his game. Before we get into it, I just quickly want to say, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also give this video a like if you enjoy it. That really helps me out a lot. I do videos on topics from across the NHL. So as long as you're a fan of hockey and a fan of the NHL, there's great videos here for you. So hit that subscribe button and follow along. Thank you. So last night I watched the Boston Bruins play the New Jersey Devils, and Boston didn't even show up for the game. But someone on that New Jersey team is quickly becoming one of my favorite players in the entire NHL, and that is Miles Wood. Miles Wood is I love the way he plays hockey. He looks bigger on the ice than he actually is. I believe he's listed at 6'2", 195, but this kid plays hockey like he's 6'4", 230. I mean, he's never afraid to throw his weight around. He grinds in the corners. He goes to the front of the net. He can drop the gloves if he needs to. He's a physical power forward type player. He's also lightning fast, and very rarely do you see the physicality come with the speed. Usually if somebody's physical, they're a bigger, slower player, but they hit a lot. Or if they're lightning fast, they're not overly physical, and those are usually the 5'10", 175, 180 guys who are lightning fast. Miles Wood is lightning fast. I mean, I don't know if he's Dylan Larkin, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid fast, but he's that next tier right below them. This kid can skate, especially straight line speed. His straight line speed is unbelievable. He's also incredibly, incredibly physical. And that's what really makes me love him, is that he combines the speed and skill with the physicality. He played at Boston College for 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure. I think only one. But he was at Boston College for at least a year, where I got to see him play a couple of times. And I loved him at Boston College. I immediately saw that he was going to be an NHL player. When you watch college hockey, you can kind of tell who has an NHL skill set, who has NHL size, and who's just gonna play college, and that will probably be it. Miles Wood stood out as an NHL player at the college level, so I'm not surprised to see him at having a lot of success with New Jersey at a fairly young age. He's only been in the league now a few years, but I mean, he's not as physical as Tom Wilson, but he's similar in that he's that power forward type player. I think a good guy to compare him to is Josh Anderson in Columbus. They're both big kids who aren't afraid to play physically, aren't afraid to drop the gloves, but also carry a lot of offensive skill, speed, and ability to score goals. And so I think Miles Wood is very similar to Josh Anderson in Columbus. Again, he's not actually as big as you think he is. He's 6'2", 195. I mean, he's a big kid, but he's not huge. But when you see him on the ice, he looks huge. He plays the game like he's huge. He plays like he's Milan Lucic's size. He has very broad shoulders. He looks big and imposing on the ice. You would think he'd be bigger than what he actually is, but it's just the way he plays the game, and I absolutely love it. When we talk about how the NHL over the last few years has really shifted away from physicality and towards speed and skill, Miles Wood and those type of players are how you can play physically and bring physicality into the modern NHL, because he can skate, he has offensive skill, he scores goals, he can play. He plays hockey very well. He also adds a physical element that not as many players nowadays bring as players did back 20 years ago. So after watching him in New Jersey for a few years now, and I thought he had a tremendous game last night against Boston. Miles Wood is becoming one of my favorite players. He's a lot of fun to watch, and his style of hockey is something that I enjoy a lot, being a fan of physical hockey, and he brings that physicality to the modern new style of NHL, and he can really play well at both ways, the speed and skill game and the physicality. The days of the huge, just guys who throw huge body checks and fight they're gone. You don't have Colton Orrs in the league anymore. You don't have Jay Rosehills, Eric Goddards, Brian McGrattens. Those guys are all gone. If you want to bring physicality into the new NHL, you have to have players like Miles Wood, players like Josh Anderson, players like Wayne Simmons. Simmons has actually been a little bit ahead of his time. Tom Wilson. They have to be able to play hockey and produce offensively as well, and Wood absolutely does that. So, he's a guy to watch, and he's a guy that's a lot of fun to watch. And as I've watched him in college, now in the NHL with New Jersey, he's a guy that I really, really enjoy watching, and he's really become one of my favorite players. So, with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.